The prosthetics were the star of the show. Hey, I'm Amy and welcome back. Today we are talking about the Best Picture nominee, Darkest Hour, starring Gary Oldman as Winston Churchill. This film has been plastered all over Los Angeles and I have seen trailers for it. I think I saw a trailer for it a long time ago last year and I was very excited for it, especially when I found out that Gary Oldman was playing Winston Churchill. This movie I was just so excited to see anyways. I mean, Gary Oldman playing Winston Churchill, and I didn't even realize it was Gary Oldman until the credits and the very first trailer I saw were like, Gary Oldman! You know, actually, I think I saw the trailer for this when Atomic Blonde came out. Probably. So that's been a while. It's been since like, I don't know, October or November? And before I get going into this, I just want to give you a heads up. I am getting a little cold and they are doing some construction in the apartment next door. So for the next probably 5 videos that I'm recording today, you'll probably hear me say this at the top of every single one. If I sound a little bit sick, or if I sound like I'm getting more sick over the course of the next couple of videos, or you hear construction in the background that is really screwing up my audio every time I do it, please don't be alarmed. I'm trying the best I can. This is like the only day I can record a whole bunch of stuff. So let's go into Darkest Hour. The cast in this is kind of okay. I mean, Gary Oldman really steals the show because you can't really tell who he is underneath all of the prosthetics. He's just unrecognizable, and the prosthetics really are the star of the show, which makes the makeup artist for this film my pick for Oscar winner. Their makeup artist did such a great job making Gary Oldman look so much like Winston Churchill. He doesn't really sound like him as much as I would have thought from just some of the clips I've heard of Winston Churchill. Like, they played some of his radio speeches on Dunkirk, but I don't think Gary Oldman really got the voice very down as well as he could have, because he really did sound like Gary Oldman through it all. Other than that, Gary Oldman was just superb and definitely best actor contender for me, for real. And probably the high point of this for me is whenever he does a Winston Churchill monologue, because we all know that Winston Churchill did some really great speeches, so him delivering those was very great. He gave very powerful performances for each speech he did. They were so great, so very Churchill-like, that I just felt like I was watching Winston Churchill, even though honestly I didn't grow up in that era. I didn't grow up in World War II, but I do enjoy researching some World War II stuff, so I had heard some of his speeches before. Other than that, there weren't really any big names besides like Ben Mendelsohn playing King George, and he was just okay. I feel like he did a better job in Star Wars Rogue One than he did in this. Oh, the light is dimming. The sun is going in between the clouds. Okay, I don't know very much about King George's history or backstory or how he acted, so I don't really know if his portrayal of King George is really true to life, because he just seemed very boring, and he just seemed like a bit of a pushover, not only to Winston Churchill, but to anybody else he came in contact throughout the film. And the contrast between Churchill and his wife is so cute. I love it. It's very beautiful. She is a very strong woman to be his wife. She has to be, because he is such a very loud, boisterous man who just does whatever he wants and just kind of gets his way a little bit. But she's also very gentle and loving to everybody around them, which she kind of uses to make up for how brash Churchill can be. I haven't watched a whole lot of films about Winston Churchill, but I feel like a lot of them just portray how great of a leader he actually was in the long run throughout the World War II era. But this one really just focused kind of on how much people disliked him. I feel like how anybody in the parliament disliked him, how members of his staff were treated badly by him because he was just so loud and brash and didn't really care what people thought of him. So it kind of portrayed a different side to him than just this great, powerful, speech-giving leader. The story of this film isn't super remarkable, and like throughout the film it's not super remarkable. It just feels like what I think every other World War II or Winston Churchill focused story would feel like. Even though it does kind of show a broader side to Winston Churchill, it still is kind of just a World War II story about Winston Churchill, about Dunkirk, which I think I talked about this in my Dunkirk review. I don't think I had ever heard about the story of Dunkirk or really remembered or was taught about it, and a lot of people got really angry with me for that because I guess it's something that's taught, but I honestly don't remember reading about it in anything or learning about it. So the story was kind of new and different to me, but I think that might have just been like American schools. We didn't really learn very closely about Dunkirk. We learned more about the American side of the war, so seeing these two movies about Dunkirk and Winston Churchill were very new and different to me. Darkest Hour still didn't bring anything new to the table like Dunkirk did, at least for me. However, the cinematography in this was beautiful. I absolutely loved some of the camera movements, especially this one towards the beginning when it's in Parliament and it's just this nice overhead shot and it just kind of slowly glides down and into whoever's speaking, and it was so beautiful. And I actually rewound the screener that I had so I could rewatch that scene over again. I just loved it so much. It was so beautiful. But right now, I don't think Darkest Hour will win Best Picture. This is currently the scale for my Oscar predictions. It is not really far at the top. It's more down here at the bottom. Yeah, it's definitely just chosen because it's just one of those very artsy movies by a kind of artsy director, I feel like, and it's starring a really great actor who finally deserves an Oscar nomination, and I really hope Gary Oldman wins this Oscar. But those are all of my thoughts on Darkest Hour. Let me know what you think in the comments down below and what are some of your Oscar predictions. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really truly do appreciate every single one of you. Let me know who you are in the comments down below and let's be friends. If you enjoyed this, leave a like and subscribe if you're new because I love talking movies, TV, filmmaking, and film history, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!